Loss visits every soul. No one escapes its knock. No one dodges its shadow. The Stoics did not pretend grief wasn't real. They did not suppress pain. They did not smile through sorrow like it was weakness. But they did something rare. They mourned without poison. They cried without curse. They wept without breaking. Because they knew bitterness is grief gone rotten, pain left unattended, a wound that becomes identity. And they knew grief does not need to be cruel to be true. You do not need to burn others just because your heart is burning. When someone is taken from you, you don't owe the world vengeance. You owe them virtue. You don't need to collapse. You need to rise. You don't need to hate. You need to honor. Let the tears fall. Let the silence hold you. Let the ache speak. But do not turn cold. Do not become what the pain wants you to be. You are not a grave. You are not a tomb. You are a temple. A place where the memories can rest without rusting into rage. Bitterness is easy. Strength is sacred. Anyone can scream at the skies, but few can bow their head and say, "I accept, even when I do not understand." The Stoics understood. Death is not the thief. Attachment is. And yet they loved deeply, fully, because real love doesn't fear the end. It treasures the moments. The Stoic mourns, not by falling apart, but by becoming more whole. You are allowed to grieve, but not allowed to rot. Allowed to feel, but not allowed to hate. Your pain is not a license to destroy. Your mourning is not a reason to abandon your nature. You are not less human for crying. You are not less strong for missing them. But you are more divine if you carry it with grace. When you hurt, stand taller. When you ache, speak less. When you remember, act more. Let your sorrow become stillness. Let your loss become clarity. This is the way of the Stoic, to hold both love and pain without losing oneself in either, to mourn without madness, to remember without rage. There is a sacred strength in restraint, a quiet might in not lashing out, in not blaming the world, in not becoming cruel to cope. Bitterness tells you the world owes you. Strength tells you you owe the world your best, even now, especially now. Your grief is sacred, but it must be pure, not tainted with blame, not poisoned with ego. Some people mourn by wounding others. Some mourn by healing what they can. You must choose. The Stoics chose the second. They believed death cannot be fought, but it can be faced, not with screams, but with silence, not with anger, but with acceptance. To mourn with strength is not to hide your tears. It is to give them purpose. It is to cry, then clean your face and get back to the duties of life. They knew You do not honor the dead by hating the living. You do not honor the past by ruining the present. Let your loss shape you, but not into something hard. Let it shape you into something true. Your loved one is gone, but you are not. So what will you do with the breath they no longer have? Will you waste it in bitterness or use it in beauty? There is dignity in grief, and there is destruction in grief. The path you walk is the choice you make. The Stoics walked through grief like warriors. No sword, no shield, just soul. They allowed themselves to mourn, but never allowed mourning to devour them. You cannot stop the ache, but you can stop the bitterness. You cannot reverse the loss, but you can decide the lesson. Do not ask, why them? Ask, how now? How do I live? How do I love again? How do I serve with this pain as part of me? Your grief is not your enemy. Your hatred is. Your despair is. Your resentment is. Let them go. Keep only the memory. Keep only the love. Keep only the stillness. The world breaks everyone, but the Stoic learns to rebuild from within, not by denying the pain, but by mastering it. You will hurt. You will miss them, but you will not fall. Because mourning with strength means you see the fire and still walk through. You feel the loss and still rise up. You remember their voice, but still use your own. You visit their grave, but still grow gardens. You cry, and then you clean. You ache, and then you act. There is no shame in sorrow, only in surrender. So mourn fully, but do not become the mourning. Let it pass through you, but do not let it settle in your bones. Life remains, purpose remains, duty remains. Even in your pain, you still have a reason to rise, still have a chance to show the world that even the hurting can help, even the grieving can give, even the broken can build. This is mourning with strength. This is the Stoic path. When you feel your heart sinking, stand tall. When the tears come, let them, then let them go. Because you are still alive, still chosen, still responsible for your light. Let your grief refine you, not ruin you. They are not forgotten. You are not alone. And this sorrow will not last forever. But your virtue can, if you choose it, even now, especially now. But mourning is not weakness. It is not falling apart. It is not the absence of strength. It is the proof that love was real. Grief means you gave your heart. You were present. You were human. You allowed yourself to care deeply. And now you must allow yourself to continue, not by forgetting, but by remembering rightly, not by suppressing, but by shaping your sorrow into something sacred. The Stoics never said you wouldn't cry.
They said, don't drown in tears you can't control. They said, weep briefly if you must, then return to duty, then return to virtue, then rise again, not in spite of the loss, but because of it. Your loss can purify you. It can burn away illusions. It can clarify your values. It can strip you of what doesn't matter. So what remains is what always mattered. Let grief make you honest. Let it simplify you. Let it silence the noise. Let it point your face toward heaven. Let it remind you that time is short, and yet eternity is real. Speak less.